Atletico Madrid get off to a good start at home as they beat Girona 3-0. Robbo, more generally, it's all changed at the Civitas with Julian Alvarez and the only living Sorloth in captivity up front, Conor Gallagher in midfield, Robin Lenormand, and perhaps Clement Langlais, who seems to be on the verge of signing for Barcelona at the back. You like what they've done? Are they contenders?
Are they contenders? I still don't think they're contenders. I don't think they'll win the league. But Alvarez, I think, is a very good player.
They're better than last year.
They're
right?
better than last year. Last week, Sorloth played the first half and got taken off at half time. So he just after he'd scored the equaliser against Villarreal. I'm not sure Alvarez is quite as good a player as other people believe he is. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's an outstanding player. Conor Gallagher, I think, will do a good job for them in midfield. They need some legs in midfield. And Lenormand proved that he was a very good defender at the European Championships. Langlais is well past his best, so I don't think that is a good move. I still think they'll be third behind Real Madrid and Barcelona.
I'm genuinely intrigued. I like what Samuel Lino, I think, has gotten off to a strong start. I'm not that down on the legs in midfield. Barrios can run all day. So can Marcos Llorente and Gallagher too. I think that,
if they play Llorente in midfield, they are quite often playing
exactly.
in different
We
positions.
don't know where that guy's going to go. I'm with you. I'm not an Alvarez guy.
No.
I think compared to, if you go Alvarez Sorloth versus Depay Morata, do you necessarily? I mean,
I'm not sure you're improving. I'm not sure you're improving.
I'm not sure about that. But yeah, Lenormand helps at the back. But they need more than that.
Okay. Now this was back on Friday, Gab, but PSG destroyed Montpellier 6-0. João Neves and Bradley Barcola ran absolute riot, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, after getting the scare when he played all the really, really young kids, now he just played the marginally younger kids. He played the old guys like João Neves, I think is 19 or whatever. That guy's a player and a half. I mean, that between him and Vitinha, the range of passing in the middle of the park is special. Bradley Barcola in the Fuego. He's running around saying Kylian who. He can finish. He provides assists. He's always positive. I think Paris Saint-Germain look really, really good. I think they have a lot of options. Now, my big question is, we're going to talk Osimhen later. Obviously, he's on the market. I think they're waiting for the last minute if they do make a move. You got a chance to get Osimhen 55, 60 million. First of all, does he fit?
Yes, I think he does. I think he'd fit any front line, because he's a player that can do all things you want from a centre forward. Yeah, he can run, he can hold the play up, he can score goals, he's decent in the air.
Is he a Luis Enrique guy?
Is he going to be clever enough for Luis Enrique? Because Luis Enrique is all about the thought and, your movement and your touch. I still think you need
he signed Randall Colomwani. Surely he's more clever than Randall Colomwani.
Yeah, so I think he'd be a good signing. Osimhen is
if they sign him, I think
they've got an outstanding
That's
team.
a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also back on Friday, Robbo, Bayer never losing all over again as they win at Gladbach thanks to a penalty in the 11th minute of injury time. A penalty which Florian Wirtz misses, but then the ball happens to be there for them. This is sorcery. This is witchcraft. Xabi Alonso has clearly done some kind of deal with Satan or some other demonic entity to be this good for this long, yeah?
I'd like to go along with that, but I think what it is they're a very good team. And even when they went to 2-2, when it was against the runner play a little bit because they were dominating the play in the second half, they didn't change what they were doing. They kept the pressure on. They actually won the ball higher up the field. They kept on playing balls into the box, and they looked a threat. And because the added on time is because the fans of Borussia Mönchengladbach threw flares onto the pitch and there was smoke everywhere. So we had it and added on 10 minutes. So they actually lost the game for their team in the end. But honestly, Bayer Leverkusen deserved to win. They were the better team by quite some way. And I still think they're going to be up there challenging this season.
Did Wirtz look okay to you in the game?
Yeah, he did well.
You thought he did well?
He did okay. He went past people.
I thought he was. I thought he was off the boil, which again makes me even more impressed. He's like, okay, whatever. I didn't think he had a great game, but then he happily goes.
He did enough. He did enough to say that he's still a very good player. Yeah. Napoli bounced back from the opening day defeat with a 3-0 win over Bologna. Gab, that was a quick turnaround for Antonio Conte. And I'm just going to say something else. Didn't he do that with Chelsea when he first went there? They lost 3-0 at Arsenal. in about the second game, and he changed the tactics, and they didn't lose for the next 35 games or whatever it was.
I don't know that he changed the tactics too much here. I think he gave somebody a kick up the backside, and also he got the best Kvaratskhelia. That first goal, that pass, absolutely delicious. Now, of course, everybody's happy again, and they're still going to do some signings, and I want to get your view on where these guys fit, because, all right, with McTominay, that's one guy they're ready to put 25 million tonight that on the table. I guess from United's perspective, if Manuel Ugarte comes, like I thought, then maybe you can shift McTominay. If Jules were here, he would just be laughing, falling off his chair because he does not rate McTominay. But you tell me, does McTominay help Napoli? Or could you find a better way to spend your money?
I think you could find a better way to spend.
What about Billy Gilmore?
Or
do you already have a little Slovak Billy Gilmore there in Lobotka? Don't they do the same thing?
Yeah, but I think Lobotka's better than Gilmore. Gilmore just hasn't developed, I don't think, as a player. What I saw from him is when he first got into the Chelsea team. You're going to say Lukaku as well, aren't you? Well,
I will say Lukaku, yes.
The into Lukaku was magnificent for Antonio Conte because Antonio Conte got the ball into him as much as possible. And honestly, he was unplayable for a season, Inter. But it's been 2 years since that he was that unplayable man. So can Conte get the best out of him again?
Well, you tell me.
If he could, and he plays to his strength, he probably could get him to be a major attribute for them.
So on Lukaku, they have a deal in place with Chelsea. They have an agreement. The agreement with Lukaku is taking a little bit longer. It's over image rights. I would imagine they're going to go and bring this home because it's in everybody's interest to do so. And if you're Chelsea, look, nobody else is going to take Lukaku. No. So maybe you knock another $1 million off the price if this is what it takes for Lukaku to sign. But the interesting thing for me is Victor Osimhen.
Yeah.
Because now they come out with this story. Oh, look, Al Ahly, big offer from Al Ahly. Al Ahly, who actually are one of those teams that don't have a very fancy center forward. Osimhen in the past has said, I've got no interest in going to Saudi Arabia. It's crazy to me the fact that they have a 120 million release clause on him, and every day that passes, the asking price for Osimhen goes down. We talked about Paris Saint-Germain before. People have also suggested Chelsea. I don't think it's going to happen because Osimhen has a big salary that doesn't really fit Chelsea's business model at all. If you're Osimhen, you just stay put and wait for the phone to ring from Paris on August or somewhere else on August 31st, right?
I would say so, yeah, because he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, and PSG would be an ideal fit for him, I think.
And if it doesn't, and you tell me would this totally screw up the dynamic of the squad? If it doesn't, then September 1st, Osimhen, actually maybe a little after that because there's a national break, Osimhen comes back and says, hey, guys, I'm here. Can't go anywhere else. Mr. Conte, you want me in the squad? Can I help out? And then we try to find for a home for me in January? Or are you really going to go and punish me and yourself for the next 4 months?
Well, it'd be madness if he does that, Antonio Conte, because he can get out of Osimhen what he got out of Lukaku when Lukaku was at Inter, say the whole play is going to be based around you. We're going to find every way to get it into your feet and down the side, and we're going to get you to link up with whoever is around you, and you are going to be the main man. He could be absolutely outstanding for Antonio Conte.
I mean, you're going to lose him for nothing in June. I think if he doesn't move, you reintegrate him, you can at least get something in January and also make your team better, at least for half the season.
Absolutely.
Bournemouth and Newcastle draw 1-1, but Robbo Andoni Iraola is furious over the Dango Ouattara goal that was disallowed by VAR. Also, I want to ask you, how did Joelinton not get sent off first? In fact, let's deal with that one first. The Joelinton on Neto, to me, that's a red card. That's always a red card.
So first of all, if you intentionally stop the goalkeeper playing it out, and get in his way, it's a yellow card.
Right.
If you then combine that with the forearm, what do you call it? Almost across
clothesline. Is it straight out of professional wrestling?
Yeah, a clothesline across the goalkeeper. That's dangerous as well, or nasty. So it had to be a red card.
Not just that, but Joelinton is a large, muscular, strong man. Like, that's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
I know the goalkeeper. I know Neto's not a little guy either. Yeah. But that's dangerous. That's uncalled for. I think this is like...
But there was 2 yellow cards in one movement there. First of all, stopping the goalkeeper playing it early. And secondly, the clothesline. So
and on the Ouattara move, so for those who didn't see this, basically the cross comes in, Ouattara heads it, VAR looks at it, and VAR comes to the conclusion that the ball, the whole thing with the elbow and the armpit, that the ball struck his arm, and so because you can't score with your hand, the goal is disallowed. What I don't understand, I sat there, rewound, watched the video, I watched the
so did
blew
I.
it up.
Yeah.
How can you tell where the ball
Hit.
strikes? You can't.
No, and it looked it was almost on the shoulder, wasn't it? High up the arm, which I thought was.
And also the way the ball comes off him, I'm assuming kind of the bone on his shoulder is, I'm sure he's a big muscular dude, but the bone on his shoulder, I'm pretty sure is going to be harder than his arm.
Yeah.
And you look at the way the ball comes off, the angle it comes off, the speed at which it comes off, how can you possibly conclude that it came
having
off
having given the goal to start with, I think the goal had to remain because, as you said, the VAR couldn't be sure exactly where it came off. You couldn't see the clip after clip after clip, replay after replay. You couldn't be sure. So if the goal was given, it should have stayed, I think.
Yeah, and this is not something, by the way, which the referee can review and make up his own mind. In these situations, it's only the VAR. I don't know. I hope these aren't the 2 points that send Bournemouth down.
Yeah.